And so I grew up in not a Christian home. We believed in God, were God-fearing, and weren't necessarily made to go to church. Had parents that did not go to church. And therefore I did not feel the need as well. I figured what we needed, we could accomplish on our own. I grew up that way, had good luck with it. Very supportive parents in all I did. And it seemed to work out. And my senior year, I had a child. I learned a lot through that. Still somewhat godless and borderline atheistic. I was now living the life of a race car driver and playing in a band and just having a good time, doing with my life what I wanted to. And the relationship with the daughter's mother only lasted about a year after that, and then it even seemed to get better for me. I felt as every other weekend I was a bachelor to do with my life what I may. And then she walked in.
I had a little bit of a different story. I grew up in a Christian home. My parents were very religious. My beginning years, my father was an alcoholic, so it ran in the family. I had 2 older brothers who ended up going down that line too and got involved in alcohol and drugs. Found myself in early years in Alcohol Anonymous for families, and just lived my life in and out of meetings here and there, and passed around to family members so my family or my parents could chase my brothers. By the time I hit my teen years, I found myself kind of falling into the same thing. I ran away from home a lot. I ended up in a children's home, spent about a year in a children's home, came home, back home with my parents. Still not listening, still wanted to do what I wanted to do. I ran around with boys a lot, wanted attention, and I found myself in a lot of abusive relationships, just figuring that's how it was supposed to be. And by the time I was 18, I ended up in jail. I was in jail for a year and a half, or a little over a year, I guess it was. I got out early, went home again on house arrest. I met a guy in jail who showed me some attention and thought that this is all I was going to ever get. And he got out of jail and we got together. I found myself pregnant and I had my first son, and the families decided that they wanted to tell us that we were living in sin and we needed to get married. And so we ended up getting married, and I ended up finding myself almost a year later going through a divorce. The abuse got so bad, and I left and was living as a single mom and working 3 jobs, and I met my now husband, and my life
She was my
changed.
waitress at a pizza shop.
Yes, I was his waitress. He left a really good tip. So, but I also worked with a guy, and that came to MRC, and he seen my struggles through life, and he, we became friends, and he knew some of my story, and he introduced me to his wife, and I met his family, and he knew how I was struggling, and he opened his home to me and asked for me and my son to move in with him whenever I was really low. And he also kept nudging me to come to MRC. He would tell me every Friday what time MRC was, and say I'd see you there. And I found myself wondering what it would be like. And but through those moments and us getting closer, I chose to move in with my now husband. At the time, I still had that little edge to me that I didn't want someone telling me what to do, and I needed to do, for me. We were together now, and we had 2 children from other families. So we were dealing with our exes, and it was a struggle at times to put 2 families together. And we
6 years into it,
yeah,
somebody decides it's time to ask to get married.
yes,
We put oil and water together
yes,
and got married. Had a shared child of our own who, through MRC, is very passionate about Christ, which is what we were shooting for. Our older children are both believers, but kind of follow in their own manner. But our youngest is very, very passionate, and all the people here helped them do so, and they helped us.
we gave ourselves to God. We did get married from the pastor from MRC. He married us, and I believe it was 2 years later that we decided to get baptized. I know it was 2 years later because Brandon was born.
Both pastors were there.
Yes.
At the time, one was just an electrician.
Yes. And but they didn't give up on us, and we had several mutual friends here at MRC that just guided us along the way, and really were there for us, because we did have ups and downs. Everything wasn't always perfect. After, just because we started coming to church and we gave ourselves to God, life didn't automatically get perfect. We had our lows, and every time that we had our lows, MRC was here for us. They've always picked us back up.
The more we seem to give, the more we get.
Yes.
And that's not our intention at all.
It's by God's grace. We are definitely blessed. We are blessed now. We had it was just a short time last year that I was at my low again, and I called on the pastor here at MRC, and both of them, and I came to have a meeting with them, and I had a moment in their office that just totally took all the weight and all the worry and everything off my shoulders and my chest, and just totally turned me back into the direction that I needed to go. And God's always the answer. I was trying to do it myself, and I needed to. I needed God. He's always been there through my entire life. I was able to see that now. And I thank MRC for that.
We're the Rupps, and Mountain Ridge was built for us.